time of year for being with the ones we love, sharing so much joy and cheer. What a wonderful feeling, watching the ones we love having so much fun. I was sitting by the fireside, taking a walk through the snow, listening to a children's choir singing songs about Jesus, the blessed way that he came to us. Why can't it remain? All through the year, each day the same. That's what I want to hear. It's truly amazing, that spirit of Christmas. I tell you, it's truly amazing, that spirit of Christmas. Let me hear you. Why can't it remain? Why can't it remain? All through the year. All through the year. Each day the same. Each day the same. And that's what I want to hear. Listen to me. It's truly amazing, that spirit of Christmas. Oh, it's truly amazing, that spirit of Christmas. Ain't it so? It's truly amazing, yeah, that spirit of Christmas. Oh, Christmas. Oh, Christmas.
You're listening to the RMPodcast, the official podcast of Red Moon Productions. Here are your hosts, Brandon Davidson,
Keith Cheatham, and Sean Sebastian.
Enjoy.
In Red Moon Land. I am one of your hosts, Brandon Davidson, alongside our normal new host,
Sean Sebastian,
and Keith Cheatham. Oh, how are we feeling this beautiful, wonderful Christmas day, guys?
It is a terrible day. It's the day the Klauses have tried to take over the world. They have gone in their sleigh across the earth, and they have tried to poison the minds of the children. It'll be a glorious day when Mrs. Klaus leaves us.
Soon she will
be gone to crawl into her Klaus hole, deep beneath the earth.
The Klaus hole.
Tomorrow.
It's tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. She won't be joining us.
Yeah, she'll be
gone.
gone.
A very
Makes me
special,
sad.
but
I
it's
love
a
Christmas.
lovely Christmas episode.
Today makes me
Yeah.
happy.
Exactly.
Yes. Tomorrow will make me sad, but today makes me happy.
Today is full of joy and merriment. And I'm getting to spend it with you all.
Man, you know what really tugs at my heartstrings? You know,
What
is it?
It's that song.
I know.
Such a
What's
beautiful
I
song.
know
Spirit of Christmas.
the Spirit of Christmas.
Ray Charles, man, that's
I
like the
know.
best part of that movie.
I'm
It
hoping
is.
because it's on YouTube, we didn't get flagged for
Yeah.
it being. I
Nobody's gonna
That's
hear
the,
it, so it's
that's
kind of
like the only really
sorry.
tearjerk moment in
hope Christmas Vacation. Yeah,
Yes.
the rest
is
of it's
the
just.
attic
But it's
scene.
right when it's needed. I feel like.
Oh
it's
yeah,
just like,
yeah.
it's
It's
a
a good
perfect
break.
moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Good
right.
break.
But it's exactly. It's
There's so
right
many
in
good,
the middle.
I mean, it's just.
Yep.
Honestly, I watched Christmas Vacation, and maybe my family's not quite that outlandish, but it does. You could look at each family member and think of someone in your
Yes.
family that it reminds you of.
Yeah, everybody's got a
Yeah.
cousin Eddie.
Yes.
Everybody's got that one guy.
I mean, I think that's why the dysfunctional families love it so much.
Yeah.
You know, it became a Christmas holiday classic for that very reason.
Yeah.
Is because you look at it and you're like, that's not me. That's my extended family. But then again, everybody knows that is them because everybody are the
About
Griswolds.
2 weeks ago, maybe only a week and a half, there was like a power surge all across all of Louisville. No, it was all I got on Facebook and several people, there were people in the West End, there were people in Shively, people in out in Jeffersonville.
Yep.
I mean, everywhere. They were like, "Did y'all's power just surge?" I was like, "That's crazy." Went all over Louisville, and one of the comments was, Clark Griswold just plugged his lights in. So I was like, that guy did not miss a beat. Good for him.
That's good, though. I mean, and I was going to say, it's like we all know he was just getting ready for the holidays. He was done karate chopping the reindeer, and finally he plugged in the...
Yes.
I love that part. It just snaps, and then, it's beautiful film.
Well,
One of our
all this time talking about a good Christmas movie, but
I mean, we know that all season long we've been talking about so good they're bad.
So bad they're good.
Well,
Not so
that's
good they're bad. Oh man,
I don't know. I think it's the other way around. They're so good that they are bad.
Maybe that's good old Arnie, because nothing spells Christmas classic like the Terminator. So
well, I'm telling you, this one we saved a doozy for the last.
This is one of my favorites.
This is an awful
I watch.
film.
Well, it plays every year.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and
I guess we should.
review,
Let's roll into our final so bad it's good Christmas film of 2019. Here it is, guys. Enjoy.
It's here, Christmas time at last. Jump out of bed and run to the tree and see what Santa has left you. What's this? Why, good old St. Nick has given you the greatest gift of all, the gift of RMPodcast reviews. And today is an extra special one, as it's the review of one of the greatest holiday films so horrible you can't help but sit back and enjoy. I give you my review of Jingle All the Way. Nothing screams Christmas like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad duking it out to get their child the perfect Christmas gift at the last minute. If that alone doesn't scream holiday classic, then buckle up because it gets better. When Howard Langston forgets to get the latest Turbo Man toy, a popular Power Ranger-like character that is the biggest children's show hit at the time, complete with jetpack and annoying talking animal sidekick, he must rush out on Christmas Eve to try and find the toy before his wife and son Jamie, played by a pre-Star Wars Jake Lloyd in the only other role of his career, find out. Along the way, Howard runs into mishap after mishap, fighting off counterfeit toy peddlers dressed as mall Santas, and trying to beat rival Myron, played by Sinbad, who is equally as bad a father as Howard. I have to say, this movie is terrible. From the Turbo Man scenes to Schwarzenegger and Sinbad hamming up the set, this movie tries its hardest to be a film about a father who just wants to give his son and family the best Christmas he can. And while Howard's attempts at getting his son the gift he wants most, much of the horrible lengths he goes to paint just how bad a father he is, rather than the man who would do anything for his son. What makes this film so entertaining and enduring, however, is the actors in it. Jake Lloyd is just as bad as he is in Phantom Menace, which is terrific because even after this film, George Lucas still thought he would be a great fit. Sinbad and Arnie are horrible but chew the scenery like rabid dogs to a rabbit. It's delightful and fun, and you'll laugh the entire film. Something about this movie, however, despite being horrible, has stood the test of time. It is played repeatedly during Christmas, along with actually good classics such as Elf and Christmas Vacation. It was raked over the coals by critics, but garnered enough love upon home release that it even got a direct-to-video sequel. So despite its poor quality, why are people so drawn to it? Well, it does have a lot of heart. Yes, the acting is terrible, and the final set piece where Arnold dresses up like Turbo Man and fights Sinbad dressed as Turbo Man's nemesis Dementor atop the Christmas parade floats is so outlandish and over the top, you wonder how anyone could have seriously thought this movie would be a hit. But the heart is there, and you can tell that despite the nonsense, everyone involved is having fun. And somehow you wind up having fun too. The movie is a mess, but no one seems to take themselves too seriously. And despite the cringe and asinine aspects, you can't help but forgive its flaws. Jingle All the Way may not capture the sentimentality of Christmas, but it does capture the chaos of those caught up in the hustle and bustle of the season. And perhaps it being so terrible helps to showcase just how crazy people can become during this season, showcasing the insanity people go through to get those deals and buy. Through its sheer ineptitude, it speaks more on the ridiculousness people go through forgetting the true meaning of Christmas than many serious films. And for that, I give Jingle All the Way 2 out of 4 stars. That's right, 2. Honestly, it's funny because I give it 2 because of the technical aspects of the film.
Yeah.
My enjoyment of that film.
Oh no, yeah,
I love that
it's
movie.
It's a good movie.
I love that
and
movie.
Like you said in the review, like
I
the
don't like
message, but the message of like how people just go insane over trying to like get that gift for their kids or for themselves or whatever, that they completely miss like the point of Christmas.
Yeah.
Like it's a great message, and you don't even see that in many movies
You don't
anymore.
You know, I think that's what I laugh about is because how over the top, like not just Sinbad and Arnold Schwarzenegger, because they're over the top, but every adult trying to go out and buy stuff is like they're fighting each other, and it's so over the top. But at the same time, if you go out on Black Friday, you see the same exact crap, and it's like you watch this
Not
movie.
anymore. Now
yeah,
everybody's
it's
Amazon
all
shopping.
Yeah.
I was
But
gonna
it's
say.
like that. It's so over the top, but it's actually kind of believable. It's like, okay, yeah. So it's one of those things where, like, yeah, Turbo Man is terrible.
I
Booster
get the
is
message,
terrible.
but listen, the movie's awful.
Well,
It is
yeah, but that's
terrible.
part of its charm.
Yes and no.
Yeah.
This is one of those.
One of the-
Okay, here's the thing. I agree with the theme so bad it's good, and there's part of me that agrees with you on this film, but there's also part of me that I could really do without ever seeing this
Really?
film. Oh yes.
I can't.
Yeah.
I watch this movie every year.
I would
love
actually,
this
I would
movie.
actually give it 2.5.
Okay.
So,
Look at
yeah.
Sean.
Y'all
Yeah.
are
Like that, out of
definitely-
all the movies that you've chosen to be the worst,
Yeah.
that's the best.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Well, that's
really?
why I saved it for Christmas, because it really is the best.
I'm
worst.
glad. I'm
It's the
glad
best
that
of the worst.
We can't. We
It's the
can
best
on
of the
this
worst.
very Christmas holiday have fighting and disagreement because
And Phil Hartman's character, like everybody knows
Yes.
that guy that loves Christmas so much
True.
that it gets on your nerves. I mean,
He's such
another thing you got to think about. It wasn't long after he filmed this movie that his wife shot him with a shotgun and killed him.
Oh
Yeah.
my!
So
Yeah.
I'm just
Merry
saying.
Christmas.
Probably because he was
Oh,
hitting
my-
on other women just like in this movie.
Well,
His wife was nuts.
Yeah.
and she blew
Yeah.
him away with a
I
shotgun.
loved his character, but just because, yes, he's so crazy about Christmas. At the same time, it's like he portrays this warm and
it
like
gets
moral
under your
person.
skin.
But
I
then,
mean-
like when behind Arnold's back, he's constantly hitting on his wife,
Yeah.
and it's like, ooh, that's
Yeah.
it's when Arnold's like, put the cookie down. I'm like, he's like, you tell him, Arnold. I was like, yeah,
that's
there
what
was
it
something-
is. It's the whole like that. That's the thing. Is
Yeah.
the put the cookie down.
I
It's
love
just
it.
Those
Down.
moments. The moment he's freaking Turbo Man.
Yes.
And the moment that he's like,
When him and Sinbad are dressed up fighting at the end, I just die laughing.
oh gosh, it's just awful. It's so bad. But the thing is, I don't know. To me so far, I would say that my best and favorite Christmas movie that you reviewed so far this year, So Bad It's Good. I'm gonna go with
Oh, mine's the Star Wars
Holiday Special because honestly,
because it's absolutely terrible.
it's
Yeah,
terrible.
I've never
And-
seen it.
Oh,
I
you
haven't.
have to see it.
Hold
Yeah,
on.
oh, he's got his flash drive
Oh,
ready.
God.
Well, and there's
You
a
wanna take that
reason
home?
why.
Yeah.
He just because
It's hilarious. I mean, it's terrible, but it's hilarious. Which I mean, we talked about that last week, so I mean, I don't want to go back to it,
Yeah.
but yeah, Jingle All the Way, like there's something about it. Like, yes, I know it's a bad movie, but it just gets me. Like
Yeah.
it does. Yeah.
well, I'm two
I mean,
out of
every
4 stars. I
father
got to
is,
agree with you.
is
I'm
his
not
son's
going.
hero. Like I love that.
Just, but even then, Jake Lloyd, we were talking about it while the review was going on. I mean, the 90s were really a great era of the fact that child stars in and of themselves were absolutely awful.
Yeah.
And it was, I mean, look, Jake Lloyd did not have another job after The Phantom Menace. This was made before The Phantom Menace.
Well,
but
George
thanks-
Lucas apparently he was just like, yeah, that kid there, the
Yeah.
Turbo Man.
Get that kid from Jingle All the Way.
Yeah.
I like that movie.
George Lucas probably did like that. movie.
No doubt. But I'm telling you, he probably thought maybe there's an idea he could work in Turbo Man as
Yeah.
like a stormtrooper or something. But I'm telling you,
If
thankfully,
Arnold was a stormtrooper, I would watch that
Wow.
Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
but no, thankfully Jake Lloyd was part of the era where we have now ushered out bad child actors.
Yeah.
And you know, even though he gets a lot of, I mean, I know he's been in rough trouble, and I know he's been in the clink for in and out of his 20s and 30s.
Yeah.
But you know what, Jake? We needed you. Okay, we needed you to prove that
You-
there was something better out there.
You saved
thank you.
child actors.
Yes.
And the thing is, well, it's fun because we're talking about Jake Lloyd's never been anything since Phantom Menace, but when's the last time that Sinbad's been in anything?
True. He's another 90s actor
yeah.
where it was just like
Yeah,
done.
Yeah.
True.
I mean, the only person who survived this movie was Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
And just barely, because look at his career after, too. So
Yeah, I was gonna say
He has the
and he's not
Expendables.
far off. You
with
just wait.
Sylvester Stallone.
Alrighty, guys. Well, I think are we ready to move on to? Well, here's the thing. We're gonna mix it up a little bit.
We're going to
okay?
mix it?
This is something a little different we've never done before.
Okay, go for it.
Because it's now in the past. All right, that's kind of think about this. It's Christmas Day today.
Last
But
week,
this
we
is in
went to the
past.
premiere of Star Wars.
We
yes.
went to the opening night of Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Obviously, a lot of mixed reactions across the board, but we ourselves are going to have our official review right now.
Yeah.
But we don't know because we haven't seen it. We're taping this at
we
a
pre-recorded. We pre-recorded this episode,
Like,
so
you
we
just
honestly
confused everybody.
I did.
we are
Waiting on
pre-recording this episode for Christmas, so we have no idea how we feel about Star Wars,
Right.
even though you're about to hear the review. So
But before we jump into that review, we are gonna get to it. But then we're gonna give you our reaction. But we have to tape two different types of reactions
Okay,
because we don't know if we're gonna like it or if we're gonna hate it. It's in the
True.
middle of the road. In the past, I almost think we could have been like, "Oh, we're gonna love it,"
Yeah.
and we could have just went with that.
Could've
I
just
feel like we're
winged
going
it,
to the
yeah.
movie with John Connor
yeah.
or something like that. You're just like taking me back to the future and
Oh,
yeah, I'm
that's
just-
we are. Yeah.
It's really weird.
I know, we're getting all over the place.
We
I
are.
think
Okay.
we might as well
Okay.
just get to
so
it.
let's. You know what? Let's just. All right. So here we are. We're gonna cut to the review of Star Wars. Here's our official review of Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker.
The following is a review by Keith Cheatham. 42 years in the making, the Skywalker saga has finally come to a close. What was started in 1977's release of the original Star Wars, now subtitled A New Hope, wraps up with J.J. Abrams' latest film, Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. After the divisive release that was Rian Johnson's Episode 8, The Last Jedi, fans and critics have waited with bated breath to see what could be salvaged of a franchise divided. Returning to the series after directing the first entry in the sequel trilogy, The Force Awakens, J.J. Abrams has delivered a film that is truthfully no less divisive than Johnson's Last Jedi. Except this time, it's the fans who are walking away happy and critics that are sour. What does this mean? Mainly that this trilogy will go down as the most disjointed of the three, but still offers a solid if not perfect end. Right off the bat, from the traditional opening crawl, we are thrust into the action with massive amounts of information being thrown at us. The movie begins showcasing every major character, where they are, and what they've been up to from the time The Last Jedi ends and this film begins. It all feels rather hectic, and the first third of the film definitely suffers from a breakneck pace, trying to rectify what happens in its predecessor, all the while attempting to set up the plot of this movie and tie up the entire 9-film saga. It's a lot to accomplish in a single movie, cementing the disjointedness of Disney's trilogy. Luckily, however, Abrams is a lifelong fan of the franchise. While his decisions will not and cannot please everyone, what he has accomplished in this film is nothing short of miraculous, considering that Lucasfilm never had a single clear direction for this set of films. The pacing finally finds its footing leading into the second act, and the rest of what follows feels more like classic Star Wars than any other film outside of the original trilogy. All three main leads, Daisy Ridley as Rey, John Boyega as Finn, and Oscar Isaac as Poe, have settled into their roles nicely and finally feel like actual characters, not just stand-ins for the original trio of Luke, Leia, and Han. Part of this is done by juxtaposing them against the original characters, which would seem counterintuitive, yet works, giving all 6 characters satisfying conclusions. In fact, it's not just the original 3 who finally get satisfying conclusions. Much of this film is geared towards righting every wrong fans have felt the entire saga has ever made. What this boils down to is what many would consider a ton of fan service, and in many cases, it is. And while this will surely rub some viewers the wrong way, the final chapter in any story is always going to offer callbacks and homages to what came before. It is not a sin to make fans happy, so long as you make something that is narratively sound. Fans of Last Jedi, however, will most likely find little comfort here, as the film does backtrack almost everything that movie laid in place. Outside of a dense and rusted opening and plethora of fan service moments, we are offered new ideas and a narrative that does tie all 9 Skywalker films together. It is rough around the edges, but seeing the shape this trilogy was in before its release, rough around the edges should be considered a blessing. Yes, many answers feel a little hollow, or perhaps glossed over, but there are answers to nearly every question introduced in this set of films. They may not please everyone, but trying to cram 2 films worth of narrative into one movie was never going to provide satisfactory explanations for everyone. In fact, if nothing else, this movie showcases just how poor of an idea it was for Disney and Lucasfilm to not have pre-planned all 3 films before rushing into production. As is, Rise of Skywalker is not the best Star Wars film ever made, but it is also a far cry from the worst. Its faults can be chalked up to mismanagement of the franchise as a whole, while what it does right will offer closure to most fans. It still offers mesmerizing lightsaber duels, riveting space battles, and an emotional battle of good versus evil. The writing is the sharpest of the 3 sequel trilogy films, and light years above the dialogue given in the prequels. The film is the darkest and most atmospheric since Empire Strikes Back, and I truthfully felt the acting and emotion is likewise the best there's been since the original trilogy as well. For a franchise that has always divided fans and suffered many missteps, Abrams manages to make something that truly feels like a cap on the Skywalker saga, even if a little flawed, while showcasing his love and understanding for the franchise set in a galaxy far, far away. I give Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker 3.5 out of 4 stars. May the Force be with us always.
So can you believe it? JJ knocked it out of the park.
Pulled it off.
He
actually
saved
saved
Star
the day.
Wars
He
from
saved it.
from
Rian Johnson.
Saved it.
He said, "Listen, Ryan,
I
you
mean,
left
really-
me nothing to work with, but I don't care. I'm going to toss everything out
Yeah.
that you did." And
Honestly,
yeah.
though, going into it, did you think it could be worse than The Last Jedi?
no,
I mean, I just didn't even. There wasn't. I went into it kind of like with high expectations, but I was also trying to like not let myself get
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
But I mean, I went into it thinking there's no way it can be as bad as the last movie.
Well, I tell you
So-
what. I mean, the Star Wars Holiday Special is better than Last Jedi.
That may be
actually, that's
true.
true.
That's true.
That's very true.
Yeah.
No
So,
doubt. But
No.
I
fantastic
think,
end
yeah,
to a
absolutely
multi-decade saga.
Yeah, beautiful way to
Like,
wrap up
yeah.
the saga.
If you're a fan of Star Wars, you definitely want to go see it
But we'll talk about that at another time.
next week.
We'll dive in. Of course, there's going to be plenty more Rise of Skywalker talk. It's all over
Yep.
the webs.
Yep.
The interwebs, the Goobles. But you know what? Let's move on with our Christmas holiday episode and let's get into some joy and merriment. Okay?
yeah.
Let's start talking about something that makes us all happy.
Like what?
Christmas films.
Candy canes.
Ooh, the candy
Christmas
cane
films.
forest. And the sea of twirly, whirly gumdrops.
Yeah. Speaking of candy canes, do you like red and white or do you like the rainbow ones better?
No, I like peppermint candy canes the best.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
mean,
to me, I
traditional.
don't think you have traditional. I don't think you have candy canes without a traditional candy cane. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
I like-
they make the
or-
flavored
I like the
ones.
lollipop
Yeah.
candy canes.
No.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
That's not a candy cane. That's
It's a candy
That's a
cane.
sucker cane.
It's candy
The
and it's shaped like a
thing-
cane.
The
That's
only
true.
thing I'll give you an out on is if you like the cinnamon, because it's still red and white, but it's cinnamon versus peppermint.
I mean, I have Warheads
That,
candy canes at
you
my
know,
house.
I'm not a fan of cinnamon.
and they're
so-
good. They're good. I also have the regular peppermint though. You have to have the peppermint. Then you can allowed to have any other one you want. But if you have like the other ones that aren't peppermint,
Yeah.
and no peppermint ones, then that's sacrilege.
Traditional candy canes are peppermint. There's
Yeah.
no
yeah,
cinnamon.
exactly.
Yeah.
But no, and I agree. It's not traditional.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna break away from the peppermint one,
I'm going lollipop.
see, you're going lollipop. I'm going cinnamon.
See, I bet I don't
cinnamon,
like cinnamon.
I don't like it either. I'm
It's,
just saying it at least
I think
it's still
we've
red
talked
and
about
white.
candy canes for a little too long here. I think
true.
what we were supposed to have like a
But
movie
see, just
idea.
like I would say, just like disagreements on candy canes,
True.
a lot of people have disagreements on what constitutes a Christmas film.
He turned it into a good
yeah,
intro.
there
Yeah.
you
Good.
go. He was just taking too long to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is we've had a lot of people
Yeah.
over the years argue about your Lethal Weapons, Gremlins,
Die Hard.
Die Hard
Yes.
is the biggest one. Are they Christmas films?
Well, yeah.
That is the question.
Die Hard
Does
is
it take place on Christmas?
Yeah. If Christmas
Boom, right there. That alone, right there. That's it. For
I would
you.
say if
Well, yeah.
Christmas is a major part of the plot line, and Die Hard, they're on their way to a Christmas office party.
Right.
It's like, okay, well, the plot revolves around the Christmas office party. There's no plot if they don't go to the Christmas office party. It's a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
See, I agree. That to me right there, it's like the whole setup is that it's, and I know that they're like, well, that's the only thing, and then it jumps right into the
There's
action. and
Christmas trees. There's
it
Christmas.
doesn't matter.
They play
Exactly.
Christmas music in the movie.
Yeah,
Die
they-
Hard 2 opens with Christmas
Christmas music. Gremlins opens with Christmas music.
Yes.
Well, you got snow all over the ground. He gets a present. I'm like, come
Yeah.
on, it's Christmas. It's
Yeah,
a Christmas
absolutely.
film.
Batman Returns, greatest Christmas movie
Now
ever made.
that is one that doesn't have Christmas music,
no, but
but
there
it
are.
takes place
Yeah.
on or around Christmas.
You know, nobody's come up
There's
with a
trees
Gotham
and-
Christmas album. Wonder
That
what
would
that
be
would
great.
sound like.
Oh,
you
It'd
know?
be
that'd be a-
Jingle
be a
Bells,
dark
Batman
album.
smells.
Yeah.
Very good, Keith.
Yeah.
But no, you're right. It's like I completely agree. It's like if it takes place around that time, and to me,
So
I'm not even
where's
going to narrow it down to like a points, like 5 points, and you're in or out. It's like to me, it is kind of like if you've got a Christmas theme, even decorations
Yeah.
or a song,
Yep.
it's no doubt a Christmas.
If I hear
film.
someone say "Merry Christmas" in your movie, it's a Christmas movie.
Yep.
boom,
Yeah.
boom,
Yeah.
all right, I think that settles it. That was easy.
Yeah.
So basically,
Man.
all the people out there who are hating saying Die Hard's not a Christmas film, bull crap, it is.
It absolutely is.
It ain't jumping on the bandwagon or nothing. It's a Christmas film.
Yes.
Boom. That's it. Plain and simple.
When I go to Best Buy and they have their Christmas movie section,
Yeah.
Die Hard has a special edition Christmas case in the Christmas movie
Boom!
section.
Right
There
there.
you go.
Right
Yep.
there. I mean,
Yeah.
how can you say that? And I know people will be like, "Well, that's just marketing." They're just jumping on the marketing bandwagon.
Can't
Doesn't
market
matter.
something. You can't take like what's it? You can't take Transformers and put a Christmas case on it and be like, this is a Christmas movie. No,
Yeah,
it has
nobody.
nothing to do with.
Exactly.
No, but that
Now,
would have been
look,
better
My mom.
if it was on Christmas.
That's true.
would've been
My
better.
mom would argue The Stand is a Christmas film. It's not.
No, it's.
I don't.
not.
That's just the end of the
How?
world. I
Yeah,
don't get it.
no.
There's nothing about Christmas in there.
I
at
didn't
all.
think so
I don't
either.
know.
There's not. At the very end of the film, very end.
Is it Christmas?
There,
at the end
it's
of the
like
movie?
it's winter.
Oh, it
winter.
snows. Yeah,
but that's it. So
And they're in the mountains.
yeah.
I mean, Dreamcatcher is all in snow and winter, but
that's
that's
not
not it.
No.
I agree.
Yeah.
I just wanted to throw that out there for my mom. So sorry, mom.
Though I think that movie
The
would have been
Stand
I
is
better.
not
think
a
she just
Christmas.
picked that because it's a long freaking movie that she can have on TV
Yeah,
While
during-
she's
while
decorating.
she's doing
Yeah.
things.
That's
yeah.
it.
and it's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
I think Dreamcatcher would be better as a Christmas movie too, because nothing says Christmas like aliens that crawl up your
Called
butt.
coming out of your butt. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
Merry Christmas. All right, guys, I think we're ready to move on to our relationship segment. Oh my gosh.
Please do.
So close, so fast this week.
Tell you about the birds and the bees and the flowers and the trees and the moon up above and a thing called love.
Oh, Keith, I got
Doing
that.
the hit
Did you get
dance
that?
over here.
I didn't know
was
if you
great.
because you usually show the thing. I didn't
Yeah,
know
I
if it
did,
actually,
but
yeah,
I
yeah.
cut back
You were
to
like
you.
you were
Oh.
in that field with the little bees flying around.
the bees and the birds.
Yes. And love. So what's our segment today?
All right. Well, because everything this month has been kind of themed in the Christmas realm,
Yeah.
just like our movies that are Christmas.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring up the topic of what is your favorite family Christmas tradition.
Huh.
So that's our relationship segment. Yeah. And do we even have one? I mean, let's hope, because otherwise this segment's over quick.
My favorite family Christmas tradition is beating otters with the stick out in the shed. That's not true.
Okay.
Beating off. And
I
I
was,
was like, oh no!
beating-
Oh
Wow.
gosh!
I was worried there for a second. I was like, is that a game?
Emmett Otter's
play?
Jug Band Christmas. Now there's a Christmas.
That's a Christmas movie.
What
Oh,
is it?
man.
Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas.
Jim
Oh.
Henson.
They're going to remake that too.
Yeah.
And I know you're petrified.
Well,
you do not want that.
I'm scared, but Brett McKenzie's doing it, so I kind of have. Some,
I'm
yeah,
okay. Now
yeah.
I'm a little bit more,
Yeah.
less terrified. Although I've
Yeah.
never seen the originals.
Oh,
I know.
It's good.
it's awesome.
I think it's Sean's favorite. It's not my favorite, but I think it
is.
is Sean's favorite.
It's my favorite like childhood Christmas movie.
nice.
Like Christmas Vacation is my favorite
Yes,
Christmas
yes.
movie. But as a child, I watched that on Christmas, after Christmas.
Boom! Is that a right
every
there? Is
day,
that a
like-
tradition?
Well, I mean,
Would you say
it
that?
could have been. I don't know.
it can be still.
I didn't
You
really.
can watch it with your kids every Christmas.
Yeah, maybe try to do that. I
Yeah.
don't know.
You know, start a new one.
Starting traditions right
Yeah.
here. My favorite childhood Christmas. This is a kind of a tradition for me. My favorite childhood Christmas film though was Muppet Christmas Carol, and I
Yeah.
do watch that every Christmas Eve while I'm wrapping. I wait till Christmas Eve to wrap all my gifts for people.
Yeah.
And I watch Muppet Christmas Carol and wrap the Christmas gifts on Christmas Eve before I go to bed.
There you go, that's
I
good.
enjoy doing that.
Yeah.
It's weird. I'm kind of like in the same boat as you, Sean. I don't really have a particular one right
I've got
now.
new
Yeah.
ones,
concrete.
but not that I could
Yeah.
go back to.
I used to
Right.
like go over to my grandparents every Christmas. That was something every Thanksgiving, every Christmas we went to my grandmother and grandfather's on my mom's side. My dad's family used to always get together on Christmas Eve. Here lately, it's not been on Christmas Eve. We've actually been doing it kind of like the weekend before Christmas because it's just been easier for people to get together. But I mean, we do still get together every year, so that's kind of a
Well,
bit
I'm
of a
changing
tradition.
it up a little bit. I'm going to go with family Christmas memory.
Oh, that's
I'm just
one.
gonna and here's one that it's like it's not in particular one because there's so many I could pick from, but I'm just thinking back to one thing I always loved when I was younger was whenever the whole house was decorated and it would be on Christmas break. What I would love would be coming down the steps at night when it's just like whether it was just to come get a midnight snack or even just like while my parents were still up and I would just come down in the kitchen to raid something or even just sit down and watch a movie with them. It was like all the Christmas lights are on in the house. The village is lit up, the tree is lit up. And it's like I just remember loving every single time there was that spectacle of all the Christmas lights. And I used to enjoy and I hated decorating, but I loved once everything was decorated, going around and turning on the lights around the house, and having that memory of just seeing everything decorated, because it was always a very specific memory during Christmas break that you'd get to New Year's, and it was always after the day after it was New Year's Day that we would take everything down,
yeah.
because we were all still home for Christmas break, and so they'd have our help and we'd take everything down. And I remember always that drastic change because it's weird that Christmas decorations go up and you're used to it for like a full month,
Yeah.
and then you're sitting there and it's like getting you ready for the season, you enjoy it, and then all of a sudden you're right back to where you were, and it's odd seeing the house kind of empty of decorations after like a month long.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just remember that.
We don't
and
take
really
our.
enjoy that.
We never took our decorations down until kind of like New Year's, and I don't at my house now either. Like I leave it up until like New Year's Day, and then
Yeah.
after New Year's Day is when I start taking it down. Which I don't have very much, so I can take all
Now
mine
put
down.
it,
in
put
one
them up
day.
the day after Thanksgiving though.
Yeah.
We do all of our decorating
Yes.
Black Friday.
Yep. Well, and ours is typically the weekend before, but only we used to do. I got into that habit because we used to have Thanksgiving at our house.
Yeah,
and we'd want
yeah.
people over with the
I
Christmas
actually
decorations.
put my stuff up the weekend before Thanksgiving, and that's not like no earlier, but
Yeah. But
Good times, huh?
I'm just I'm probably with the fam today.
oh, I'm definitely with the fam
I'm
today.
with the
Yeah.
fam, and I'm just
Probably.
enjoying.
That's
Probably.
awful.
I didn't mean it like that. I'm saying like
Evelyn,
right
you need to
I
email.
don't
You need to
know.
email your son again.
I mean, it could be. Look, it could be. I'm probably home by now because when this is airing, I may be at home, and I've enjoyed. Now I come home after spending all day with the
Probably.
fam. I turn on
Probably.
my lights, and then I sit there with some hot cocoa.
Oh, yeah.
And I like sipping on my hot cocoa with my Christmas tree on. And sometimes I'll turn on some Christmas music. Sometimes I'll just sit there in silence.
Speaking of Christmas traditions, I do
And-
like the Muppet Christmas Show on Christmas Eve, but I own a copy of like Charlie Brown Christmas on actually I have it on 4K Blu-ray now, but I used to have it on DVD. But I watch that like before I go to bed on Christmas. So
Nice.
yeah,
Cool.
I just
And I also love
Those were definitely
I
my
can't
two
help,
biggest ones
but
on-
Christmas Story is on TBS.
Oh, I watch that. Yeah,
like 24 hours.
24/7.
Yeah,
and it
24
plays in
hours.
the background for almost
And
24
exactly,
hours.
and that's another tradition that I absolutely love. It always it's on the background all day
And my
until
dad-
about 6 or 7 o'clock, and then we finally shut it
Yeah,
off.
Yeah.
that's how it is.
Yeah.
My dad turns it on. It plays for half the day, and then finally someone gets sick of it. It's like I want to watch something else.
Yep.
Yeah.
But we do always sit down and watch it once all the way through.
Yeah.
And I love that movie.
I don't know if I've ever actually sat and watched it all. Like I usually get bits and pieces. Like I'll get to my parents' house, or when I was a kid, wake up on Christmas Day, and it'd be halfway through playing. And then so I'd see the end, and then we'd open gifts or do whatever, and then come back, and it'd be like in the middle. So I get the whole movie, but it was always in pieces because we were always doing stuff with the family.
Oh, so you've never actually sat?
Oh no,
and
I
watched it?
have.
Okay.
I own it, so I've seen
Yeah.
it all the way through. I'm just saying
Yeah.
on Christmas Day.
on
we-
Christmas Day,
on
you
Christmas
don't make it
Day.
a point.
Yeah,
we
Whereas
don't.
I do
Yeah.
try to make it a point to watch
watch
that
it.
The
Yeah.
at least
whole thing.
once.
Yeah.
You know, on
My wife
Christmas,
hates
yeah.
that movie, but I love that movie.
I do too.
Like, and I think she hates it not because it's a bad movie, because it's a great movie.
Yeah.
But I think it's just because she's seen it so
many times.
and
And I understand
she's
that.
not the kind of person that likes to watch the same movie over and over and over again.
Right.
But our kind of our new tradition, and it's probably thanks to her, is we get up Christmas morning, and before anybody comes to the house for Christmas Day, we have ours.
Yes.
Like before everybody gets there, so we get to see the kids open their gifts from
Yeah.
us and the kids and from Santa. And then the traditional thing right now is every Christmas they get a new pair of pajamas. So
they're
that's-
actually
they
gonna have,
they
like-
have Christmas pajamas that we open
Oh.
and we wear for the rest of the
My
time.
mom-
cheesy, but I love it.
Yeah.
My mom
Yeah.
started that tradition like 3 or 4 years ago, where she gets everybody in our family like pajamas for Christmas. And the last 2 years, her and Miranda, because they have the Cree cut,
Yeah.
they have baked shirts, and the Life Day shirt I wore last week, they made for me. Which that's not my Christmas shirt. I haven't gotten that yet, but they made that.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah,
I didn't know
That's
Wow.
cool. That's
Yeah.
cool. But it's awesome that now is a tradition you've started
That
with
we've-
your
we've
family.
started, yeah.
So every
Yeah.
year they'll get a new set of pajamas, and you'll all have them. And even though they'll grow out of theirs, it's like they'll grow up and they'll have like this set of pajamas that came on Christmas Day.
Oh.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. I like that. Ah, beautiful, wonderful family traditions.
Warms you up
on
inside,
Christmas.
don't it?
man,
just-
I just
Love the holidays. Just
so
love it.
so great. So
and
great.
you know what? We want to wish everybody out there a very Merry Christmas.
Yeah, we thank you
today.
for. We know
Yeah.
you're with your family, but I mean, a little late at night, so I mean, it still you didn't have to watch us, but we appreciate all
No,
our
we
viewers.
appreciate you tuning in if you did, and we're
Yeah.
just very thankful that you've been here with us all year long.
Mm-hmm.
Our last episode
All
of this
through
year.
the year.
Can y'all believe it?
Oh,
That's
man.
it.
Don't forget
Aw.
the reason for the season.
That's true.
That's right.
Little baby
Yeah.
Jesus.
That's right.
Little baby Jesus.
I like to picture my Jesus in the baby version.
I like to picture him in
version.
like this tuxedo, and I'm like hammered drunk at a rock concert.
I don't think that's the spirit of Christmas, but hey.
But absolutely.
Wait a minute. Whoa, whoa.
What?
Was it Christmas there
Where?
in Talladega Nights?
No, no.
Were they having a
no,
Christmas
it's
meal?
not a
No.
Christmas
Okay,
movie.
I was gonna say,
It's
if
not,
they were
no.
having a Christmas meal right there,
No.
talking
no.
about baby Jesus,
No,
then
no,
that
no,
was a
no.
Christmas
That was
movie.
No. They're just talking around.
He
It's
was
at the
he was
dinner
praying
table.
to baby
Oh, that's
Jesus.
right. That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I remember now.
Yeah,
It's
you're
been a
sweet
while since
baby
I've seen
Jesus.
that.
Such a good
Okay.
movie, but not for Christmas. Go watch a Christmas. Go watch a
True.
Charlie Brown Christmas
Or Die Hard.
or Die Hard.
Watch both.
Watch both. Yeah, you got all day to spend with your family and your loved ones, so do that on this Christmas holiday season. But we thank you for spending it with us if you have. So we want to wish y'all a Merry Christmas. And if you can, send us your holiday wishes. Red Moon Pod. Oh, I almost screwed it up. RMPodcast at redmoonproductions.com.
Wow, you're on the naughty list next year.
Yeah.
I get a lump of coal.
Already.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
already.
Klaus will drag you down into the Klaus hole, and you will never again see the light of day.
Oh, no. RMPodcast at redmoonproductions.com. I am one of your hosts, Brandon Davidson, alongside our normal new host,
Sean Sebastian.
and
Keith Cheatham.
so until next time,
We'll see
you
you.
Merry
at the
Christmas.
movies.
Oh, man. Oh, man. We hate you.
We hope you enjoyed this week's episode. For more reviews, previous podcast shows, and everything Red Moon, visit our website, redmoonproductions.com. You can also like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter by searching for Red Moon Productions, LLC. We'll see you at the movies.